Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and once again some more Warhammer 3 gameplay. This time something completely different as I know you guys would be curious about the Realms of Chaos. So in this video we're going to look at each of the realms and their objectives from the inside. Now keep in mind a few things. There are some spoilers in here regarding the Realms of Chaos and so on. So if you don't want any spoilers, this video might not be for you. They are minor spoilers, just how the realms themselves work, so there's not going to be other cinematics barring a in-game cinematic that just tells you about the realm itself, but I'm just letting you guys know because I know some of you are avoiding certain content and so on. Just trying to make myself very perfectly clear as I don't want to upset anyone, but with all that being said, we're going to look at all the different Chaos realms and pretty much what the rifts do. But with all that being said, as some of you may or may not be aware, at certain points throughout your campaign, rifts to the Chaos Realms themselves will open across the Warhammer 3 map. This will happen all over the place, and there are different functions as to what you can use the rifts for. The main thing is following the story, where you'll need to go into the Chaos Realms themselves and do a few different things to be able to fight a demon prince of the specific gods. You'll need in total 4 demon souls, one from each of the main gods, Khorne, Slaanesh, Tzeentch and Nurgle, to be able to finally progress to the end of your campaign, which I can give no information of just yet. So as you can see here, the rifts have the following functions. Enter the Blood God's domain, which is obviously for Khorne, enter the Dark Prince's realm for Slaanesh, enter the Land of the Plague Lord for Nurgle, enter the realm of the Sorcerer for Tzeentch, close the rift, and traverse rifts. So in this video what I'm going to do is go through all of them and give you all the details that you need regarding this. First we'll start off with Khorne. There will be a minor cinematic and that will give you all the little bit of information story-wise to what you need to know about said realm.
The realm of chaos, a place unbound. The constraints of the mortal dimensions have no effect here. Only the whims of the dark gods matter. Yet there are places where no ruinous power claims influence. In the Forge of Souls, Be'lakor lurks, and Ursun dies. Until we have the 4 demon prince souls, it will remain out of reach. The Blood God's domain. Upon its blood-strewn ground, armies of demons clash in gladiatorial contests of unending slaughter. Battle through this cauldron of war and reach the brass citadel. There you will find the gatekeeper, the favored demon prince of Khorne. Kill him to claim his soul.
You looked at me with eyes of hatred and rage, and now the fury is mine.
So here we are in the realm of the Blood God, Khorne's bloody domain. This is a place of course, you guessed it, blood, skulls and gore. A hellscape that is unimaginable to most mortal eyes, and here you need to fight to be able to get the Blood God's attention. Before anything, keep in mind that the realms themselves are done like islands, so you might drop every now and then as you might see through this few clips. But essentially, all you need to do here is fight. Fight and fight again, and that's simple enough. It's perhaps the most simple out of all the realms of chaos. The God Citadel is right in the middle of Khorne's realm, however before that you'll need to get a new resource known as Bloodshed. You'll need 30,000 points in that, and all you really need to do is, as you can imagine, just get into some battles. There's loads of enemy armies in there, and you'll just have to move around and do your thing. The armies themselves aren't too difficult to deal with, especially if you've come in with a decent stack. If you come in with pretty much only peasants and so on, you might have a bit of a harder time. But it is important to note that whilst you're going for the demon souls, so are every other main faction, as Kairos, who in this video will feature quite a lot, seems to try and stalk me a lot. He'll also be trying to get the Demon Soul, meaning that you need to get the bloodshed up before he does and be able to go and fight Khorne's champion, Or, you know, just turn around and destroy him because he's also worth bloodshed. There's also some other interesting side things that you can do in this realm. You'll notice these glowing sections throughout 4 different points of the map, and in there you can get a special item. These are usually very powerful weapons, however keep in mind that you will not be able to take them into other Chaos realms. At that point, Khorne will have them returned to him as he doesn't want the other gods naturally picking up a very powerful artifact. But once you mark out your bloodshed bar, you'll notice that the quest marker will appear, so you can just do the battle. That's the survival battle for Khorne. Unfortunately, I won't be able to showcase the survival battles just yet, as right now everything's kind of time-gated, and I only have a certain amount of minutes that I can show off today, so I wanted to make sure that I was covering both lords and this mechanic specifically. So we've looked at Khorne's bloody realm. Now let's go into a realm of pleasure undeniable, that of the realm of Slaanesh.
The Dark Prince's realm. Temptation, lust, and gluttony are bound in this realm of desire. Confronting Slaanesh's champion will not be easy, for they are found within the 6 circles of seduction. As you journey inward, know that you will be lured by temptations beyond any your tepid imagination could conjure. In the center lies the Palace of Slaanesh, a monument to perpetual lust, excess, and debauchery.
I saw the young sleep of chaos, and he was nourished by your cravings.
So we're here in the Dark Prince's realm, focusing around the 6 circles of seduction, a rather important place in Slaaneshi lore, which leads to the Palace of Slaanesh. Now, as you can already see, it's already drastically different from that of Khorne's realm, as they all have their own unique mechanics. Now, you need to go around through all the circles, and you need to travel there whilst also keeping alive, as you won't only have to deal with the other factions, but Slaanesh's temptations too. So traveling through the realm is rather simple. All you need to do is use your movement and go into the next circle by the actual portals that you can see. Now, here's where we see Kairos again. Like I told you, he's going to feature a lot for some reason. This is just me reloading the campaign, and I don't know why, but his AI just wanted to go for me. But Kairos aside, what you will notice is sometimes when you traverse through the circles, you will also start to see Slaaneshi armies spawning, as they will begin to try and hunt you down. Obviously, since Kairos is here too, it means that the Slaaneshi army could spawn near him instead of me, or in different locations, so for this point it worked out quite well, as it was closer to him and I could easily move the other direction to use the next portal. As you travel, more armies will spawn, but there are other ways that Slaanesh will get you to leave, as obviously the Dark Prince of Chaos does not want to be disturbed, and he will offer gifts, just in return for you leaving his realm. I'm not going to show off all the gifts, as I've noticed there's a different amount, but you can see that they're quite good. Here it's 15,000 plus a bunch of different items. I've seen 75,000 at 1.2. It very much depends on an RNG basis. You are more than able to leave the realm, and you can go to another realm, or you can just wait for the event to start again. You're not time-gated to jumping into the realm as soon as the first rift starts spawning. Something of importance to note here is that of the Chaos Realm traits. These are traits that you can get whilst you're in the Realms of Chaos, naturally, and they are usually, well, they are always negative as far as I've seen. Here you can see that my army is being affected by minus control in the local province and minus leadership too. Obviously you don't want that, but you're able to start trying to clear that up with special buildings in your actual settlements. And funny enough, it's the building that everyone knows, the one that used to help you try and find any other cities under your settlement, which nobody built because you could just find them anyway. So at least that building's got a use now, and it's only for your main character. However, you're going to be going into the Realms of Chaos a few times, sometimes just to farm, so this could be quite useful for you. As you can see, Kairos got ahead of me as you're able to travel through the gateways in March Stance. This is the first time I'm finding out this too. But again, Slaanesh decides to offer us another deal, which is rather good, plus 40,000 to our treasury, and a faction-wide effect effect, which is really powerful. A massive amount of casualty replenishment, and not only that, but 100 growth for all provinces. I mean, if you want to start building up your territories, if you've decided to extend yourself quite quickly, something like this might be rather useful. But again, keep in mind this is still RNG focused, so it might not pop up during your playthrough. And here we have another one, but I'm not entirely too sure how useful this would be. It really much depends on the player too. But this is pretty much what you need to do. Move around, fight some demonettes, fight away any other factions that might be trying to get to the same soul, but it's just very simple. Gateway to gateway to gateway to gateway. I know many of my viewers are also big fans of Grandfather Nurgle, so let's journey into the land of the Plague Lord.
The land of the Plague Lord. Be cautious where you step in this putrid domain. Nurgle's realm is a garden of bloated flora and fauna, desperate to spread their infected spores. And at its center lies the mansion of the Plague Lord. The great sagging edifice where Nurgle himself works to concoct his greatest poxes. Guarding the mansion's gates is the Gardener, the favored demon prince of Nurgle. Destroy him to claim his soul.
I spied the mansion and the one that lived within. And I decay. And I withered.
Papa Nurgle's domain is perhaps the easiest to explain, easier than Khorne. It is a land of plague and rot, and you'll need to survive through it as your troops will already start taking attrition as soon as they enter. There are many enemies about, many legions of Nurgle waiting for you as they block every different passageway to where you need to go, as you will need to go to a specific location, it's marked as a quest marker, to then get immunity from the plagues here, and then finally face against Nurgle's chosen demon prince. Now, it sounds like a race against time, but it's not, as you can easily go into encampment stance and regenerate if you can, or you can go to all the specific areas, like Khorne has, where it shines on the map and that will allow you to replenish, but you'll still need to be quick, as every now and then another of the playable factions will come in to try and claim the soul. I don't think Kairos did it this time, which was weird to me, but he shows up again, don't you worry. It's mostly traveling and wading through the rot, which can be a bit of an issue if your army cannot replenish. You can also do some global recruitment and so on, but you don't want to waste too much time in here. It's likely that your legendary lord will be your strongest, as this is the character that you'll be sending into the realms of chaos, and the longer you wait, well, the bigger the chance of enemies appearing from all sides and attacking your settlements. But now we look towards the last realm, the realm of the Sorcerer, and if you know anything about Tzeentchian lore, he is not just a god of magic, but a god of trickery and deceit, and that surely shows here in his own chosen realm.
The realm of the Sorcerer. Trust not your senses, for the intricate magics of the great Sorcerer reshape reality around you. Try to stay on the right path as you fight through many-hued islands to stand triumphant before the impossible fortress. There, Tzeentchi's favored demon prince, the Librarian, stands sentinel. Slay him to claim his soul.
Each one speaks to lies for every truth.
The realm of Tzeentch is also very different to all the other realms. As you can notice, it's not one landmass, but a number of different ones, littered with various different portals and various different armies. You need to find your way to the Impossible Fortress, but this is the realm of Tzeentch. Things don't come easy. You'll actually need to play a bit of a puzzle game, going through all the different portals to find your way to the Impossible Fortress. Now, the thing is that you will need to move around, and if you're not too used to these things, there are other ways. You'll see glowing areas that you can go to in an effort to try and find the way. Also, fighting enemy armies will also give you some knowledge as to where you need to go. Thankfully, it would seem that very early on these armies don't seem to be too difficult, so all you need to do is just fight them. Sometimes you'll spawn right next to one, and it should reveal the next sigil by means of just a little marker above them. Just for context, the portals here are the glowing purple lines, whereas the white cylinders themselves can also reveal the way, but also has different functions. Going through the white cylinders will also allow you to either replenish your army fully or just reduce global recruitment quite drastically if you need to get more units in. And you'll also have noticed Kairos is here again. Yep, I told you this is a very same campaign, but for some reason anything I picked barring the Nurgle one, he was just stalking me. I'm not sure if the AI's just got it out for me or something, but yeah. I mean, it does make sense because it is Kairos Fate Weaver and he's supposed to see into the future and so on. So yeah, but I found it really frustrating that I kept having to deal with him. Traveling around the realm of Tzeentch will probably be the longest if you have bad luck with the teleporting and if you have no patience for puzzles. I don't. I really don't. I was frustratingly fighting my way through this, but hey, these things obviously make a lot of sense thematically, and obviously Creative Assembly have gone into the lore books to make sure that every realm is represented as close to the god they are representing. It does present for some interesting battles, as at one point I did have Scarbrand show up and he appeared right in front of me to the same place I wanted to go to a portal, so I had to fight him to make my way in the other way. It was rather confusing, I must admit. Obviously, there are two other mechanics in play, so I want to talk about those too. Closing the rift will, of course, close the rift, but a demon army will normally spawn to meet you in battle. Generally, these are quite easy to deal with, so you don't have to worry too much. You won't need a full 20 stack unless in later turns they get stronger and stronger, which I believe they do, but we're going to have to wait until I can progress into later campaigns. And lastly, you can traverse the rifts, which is exactly what it means. You see, loads of rifts have now opened, and if you want to take the fight to a faction specifically, you don't have to go into the Chaos Realm, but you can use it to just teleport to another location. This works out very well, for example, if you might have problems with, I don't know, a certain two-headed chicken who seems to want to stalk you. All you have to do is teleport to that area. Here, I'm just teleporting very quickly to where the Demon Prince starts, as it's pretty much on the other side of the map. This works out very well if, say for example, you want to start a foothold in Reichland whilst also having a nation in Cathay, or depending on what faction you're playing, you want to try out in a different location. It does present some very interesting invasion possibilities, and it's really up to you to figure out what you want to do with this. I have been using this myself in later campaigns just for trying out the possibility of having two nations growing at once from two different sections and so on. Especially in harder difficulties, that does present a challenge, but it does allow for some different style of play, let's just put it that way. But now you guys have been able to see all four Chaos Realms, rather important places in the Warhammer universe, as we've never really seen too much of it in any illustration. We've had description, but words can only do so much. What do you think about the areas? What do you think about the mechanics tied to them? And what is going to be the first realm that you try to invade? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm honestly quite curious. I want to know what you guys think about this, as I've been as curious as you guys when it comes to the Realms of Chaos. I thought originally it was going to be something that we could build in and so on, and it's obviously not the case, which is obviously more representative of the actual lore that we know from the tabletop and other different forms of media. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games, where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.